there's no hiss.
It doesn't sound great, but there's no hiss. That should be the name of our podcast. The SideQuest.com, the SideQuest Live. It doesn't sound great, but there's no hiss. Welcome to this week's episode, Tech Support with Taylor.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy for the next 2 hours, so let's get going.
Yeah, so bear with him. Anyways, no joking aside, how's it going, everybody? You guys doing good?
Doing
guys,
fine.
Guys are doing what you're doing.
It's going.
It's going.
Just keep on keeping on. That's all we can do.
Yeah. I survived another weekend. Finally back to Monday. Am I right, everybody? Finally back to
everyone's
Monday.
favorite day, Monday.
Not a whole ton of gaming stuff. It might be more of the Zach show this week, which is totally fine. But I did want to touch on first of all, Dolly Domofsky, hi, that's me. This person right there, the double J Holder. Right there with my super long finger is pointing to Zach. Okay, Quest. I can see you. You got and then and then the t-shirt shorts wearing guy who's apparently in Honolulu somewhere. I don't know.
This is just the Northeast this week, so
yeah, it's true. You guys are getting that 7.
It was 77 today.
Oh, so nice. Thank you, global warming. Thank you, climate change.
35 today.
35 for you. Yeah, well,
73 in Texas.
It's actually warmer at Taylor's house than it is in Texas. That's great. Before we get anything, hey, if you're watching this on Monday, tomorrow's election day. Go and fucking vote. All right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Go and fucking vote. Other than that, we are going to talk video games. We're going
to mute Taylor for a second.
Yeah, let's
while
mute Taylor for the whole episode.
Rustles through his boxes there.
He's got like a maniacal building. He's that whole face that he's got going on there. It's just Taylor's whole face. Look at Taylor's whole face. It's just... He's working.
Never seen him without his headset. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
wow. He has hair. I thought that was actually a part of his headset. Was the hair
at PAX East? He was wearing those headphones the entire time.
By the way, that's a phenomenal idea. Is a headset with hair on it. For you and I, JJ, I think that would be fantastic.
That's just the Flight of the Conchords goof where he made a bike helmet with his own hair on it.
I love it.
Wait.
Anyways, so we're gonna talk games. We're gonna talk news. There is a little bit of news.
I think Taylor's confused because he is definitely trying to talk to us. And all right, we'll get to him.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot this has a button.
Oh,
we can hear you. Oh my gosh.
We can hear you now.
You don't sound bad.
This is this microphone.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It sounds
better than what.
Yes. Shocker. It's a little bit better than the webcam microphone. Hard to believe.
It does sound like we're playing Uno on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I mean,
that's good.
In a way, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Think.
These are not the headphones I wore at PAX. For the record, Dally. While you're just casually spreading misinformation.
Do my best, man. That's what I do on election eve.
The day before election day, spreading misinformation.
Elon is not.
Excuse me. It is Mr. Information.
Mr. It's Mr.
Elon would not allow this.
There's another title.
Why don't you add parody to your comments, sir? Before I get you canceled on Twitter.
SideQuesting November 7th to 2022 parody.
All right. We're going to get a little bit of news. There's actually, I just opened up my news aggregator and there's quite a bit of news. But we're going to start with quite possibly some of the more impressive news. And it's related to Elon. No, just kidding. Let me shut this off here. Go along down. It is that you guys like virtual reality?
No.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. I mean, it's the one. I mean, the virtual reality on the Steam Deck, where you just like literally, you actually staple it to your face. It's not even like
Google Cardboard.
It's worse
I
than
got one. Yeah.
it's worse than the Switch one where you slide the.
It actually makes you blind. Well, hey, Sony knows how much you love PlayStation VR so much.
I already forgot that's this week's news.
They're launching the PSVR 2 in February for $550, and boy, are my arms tired.
Jesus Christ.
Good Lord, that is a price and a half.
Why Sony? That.
I mean, do you think that they were originally going to do $499 and upped it when they also upped the price of the PS5?
Even $499 is still expensive.
I know, but it it has the 4 in front of the number instead of a 5.
Be right. I would I wouldn't be surprised if you're right.
550 just feels like a little weird to me.
It does. It's as if and the Meta
it's like
Pro
it's like they
just
took
came
a
out for
good number that might
$1,500.
actually sell and then made it more instead.
It made it worse. Yeah, exactly. So there are a few rumors flying around, by the way, and I'm going to tag them onto this because I think it's important. This is launching in February, $550. There is a rumor that there's a PS Slim in the works that is going to go into production in April or May and be ready for sale in September, October. The interesting thing about that PlayStation 5 Slim is that it's essentially an all-digital PlayStation. It's replacing the current PS5 digital with an attachable Blu-ray. In other words, Sony is combining both of their SKUs into one SKU, making it an all-digital SKU, and you buy the Blu-ray.
Dude, this is like
reader separate.
I feel like this is the PS3 all over again. Where they I mean, it's a little. This is not quite as bad. Because with the PS3, they said, here's our sweet backwards compatible console. And then they said, psych, not anymore. Yeah. And then their follow-up models couldn't do that anymore. Yeah. But I also think this kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does.
It feels more like the GameCube to me. It's like, okay, you can buy this Game Boy Advance adapter, and then you can buy this other one that plugs into the game, and then you can buy this adapter that goes on the bottom. You also buy this Ethernet adapter. Like, it just feels like that. They're just like tacking stuff.
They broke out all the parts.
Now, what's interesting about that rumor, and I'm relating it to this because this sucker is $550, and you need a PlayStation 5 for it to run. Okay. You can't. It's not like the Quest 2.
How could they not make this PC compatible?
And it's not PC compatible
How
yet
could
that
they
we
not?
know. It is a USB-C, one single USB-C cord, which means there's going to be a bunch of hackers because the PSVR, the original, you can actually kind of get it running on PC with a little bit of work, a lot of work. I've done it on this laptop that I'm using right here briefly.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Try it out. Not worth it. No, totally not worth it. But you have now a PlayStation 5 that maybe, I'm going to guess right now, it's not going to be $399 like the current digital only. It's going to be $450. It's going to be $50 cheaper than the actual PlayStation 5 with the disc drive. And that disc drive will be $100. That's my guess. Anyways, but
$100 for the disc drive.
I'm guaranteeing you.
No way.
I'm guaranteeing you. What does Sony do? Dude, they overcharge everything. Anyways, they're gonna have a $450 PS5 with this $550 VR thing, and they're gonna sell a bundle later on. It's like, here's the ultimate home VR.
Here's a $1,000.
Are you kidding?
Like to get the PSVR,
we're literally already lamenting the fact the price of graphics cards, and so obviously I'm more into I'm heavy into the PC side of stuff. So, but AMD just had their big graphics card announcement last week, where they announced that their flagship card is going to be $1,000, and people are cheering for a $1,000 graphics card.
I mean,
that's a bad thing. But that's only because NVIDIA came out with their flagship graphics card, the 4090, and said, "Yo, dog, we did it for you. Here you go, guys. It's $1,600."
Like the Meta Pro just launched at $1,500.
Like everybody went fucking nuts. I swear to God, every like mid-tier executive board for all these companies all got into their own little rooms, saw sales data from COVID shit. When, hey guys, you remember the fucking crypto crash? It happened.
Boy.
Like we already passed it. Like those inflated sales numbers from 2 years ago don't exist anymore. I don't know. There's just all of this shit feels so unsustainable. It's so bizarre.
As a marketing student, or I have a degree, student of marketing.
Back in school. Oh no.
So what? I mean, this is just kind of like a basic marketing, right? Like they had this huge inflation for the last two years, and that bias towards the past, they can just put whatever price they want on it. That's way over inflated, but compared to what it used to be, it's like, oh, that actually makes sense because people just forget how things were years in the past. So they're just kind of like taking advantage of the
I mean, and who knows,
recency and everything.
A marketing director can step in. They're like, all right, show me year-over-year data for the last 3 years, right? And they're like, oh my God, we're on the fucking up and up. Wow, we need to we are priced to move. It's time to jack some of these prices up. And the other thing is that when you're dealing with percent
and
margins,
also the Bitcoin stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's crypto was incredible. But when you're dealing with percent margins, what happens is that as you raise the base price of a good to produce, what you end up with is proportionally higher total price to customer. Because, I mean, let's say it goes from 1,000 to 1,500 to actually make it, but they want the same number of margin, even though the price to manufacture it increased by 50%, the actual total price is going to go up higher than that proportionally. So we're probably seeing a mix of all those things together. But anyway, it's still really bonkers to me. The fact that NVIDIA made a $1,600 graphics card, the fact that people are excited about a $1,000 graphics card from a competitor, and B, the fact that Sony's going to come out and make a $1,000 bundle for a VR. It's just, I can't believe that product could exist.
Well, also you got to think about it too. This is also probably in like a console production period where they're already piecing out things for the next generation, right? The next tier or whatever.
They're planning.
So now this is a good time for GPU people, microchip people, whoever, to like upsell, inflate everything because there's so much stuff happening. And that's what I think is going on. So
there was a PlayStation 4 and a VR all in one bundle at some point, wasn't there? There must
I have no idea. Actually,
I honestly don't remember that.
That sounds like the kind of thing that I should
know. Bundle.
Yeah, but
I'm looking for. I just
me.
search. I couldn't find anything. You wouldn't. Yeah, but it's just this whole pricing thing right now. It's insane.
It's also what 3
it's
months
anti-consumer. Yeah,
3 months away, and this is all we really know about it.
So here's the stats up there. For they're great stats. It's obviously OLED. The great resolution, all the fun stuff that you'd want. 90 hertz, 120 hertz, 110 degrees field of view, which is actually pretty good. The problem, and the 550 could be slightly tolerable with these stats because they're great stats. If any of the games that I already own for PlayStation VR could work on this, because this is launching in February with 11 games, 9 of which are already on Quest 2 or PSVR or Vive, or you can get them everywhere for guarantees going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than you can here. 2 exclusive games are in the launch time frame for the PSVR 2
for
$550. And that to me it's not acceptable. And this is the Jim Ryan-ification. Jim Ryan-ification of Sony continues in that it really is I don't know. It just feels transparent that they're just trying to get money right now and not building up that long-term customer satisfaction. Because man, Game Pass
I don't
is
even
still
know how
looking
much
good,
money they're expecting to get on it in
I
the
don't
short
know.
term.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
it doesn't
how many
feel
of
like
these are
it can
gonna
be
be
that
made.
much.
It's you know, the PSVR 1 not even was like a 4% attachment rate or something, like
Something tiny like that, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even close to 2-digit attachment rate. Like, I can't imagine how much better they think they're gonna get with the follow up.
In PS5, sorry, I'm eating a Milky Way. I'm in protest. PS5 had some solid first-party games in 2022. God of War, that was horrible. Sorry, God of War comes out this week. You also have Gran Turismo came out.
Okay.
Last of Us came out for the 18th time. What was the game that everybody already forgot about? Horizon.
Yeah.
And so they actually did have some pretty big bangers this year. Was it the Death Stranding PS5 version this year? There was some other stuff that came out this year.
Yeah, along with the Director's Cut.
Yeah, and so
Here,
just there was
because
stuff that came out.
Just because I feel like it needs to be said about the PSVR 2 software. I just pulled up the list of some of the things that have been announced. Horizon Call of the Mountain is one of the exclusives for PSVR. So a Horizon game for PSVR 2. Like, okay, that's at least something. That's an app to try to push, but all right. Star Wars.
How are you gonna push one app?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Star
On a
Wars.
$550 system.
Yeah, Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, which is already on MetaQuest. The VR version of Resident Evil Village.
Yep.
The VR version of Resident Evil 4.
Which is not the new version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Which is coming out right like a week after this sucker.
A couple of weeks, yeah, the 24th of March, I think. So
yeah, Demeo, which is on Quest. No Man's Sky, which has been on PlayStation. The first time around, PlayStation 4 had VR support.
Wait, No Man's Sky is what they're billing as one of their launch titles for this sucker.
Which, admittedly, No Man's Sky VR is actually pretty good. It's just
but
again,
is it
here's the thing: is that like the selling point to PlayStation VR is to get VR into the hands of people that can't or won't do it on a PC experience.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
overlap of people not willing to do it on the PC or not able to do it on the PC, and the people that want it and can afford a $550 VR system, I don't think there's much overlap there.
No.
A lot of the people that want VR and can't afford it have already done so on PC. There's not. I just don't see that many where they're like, VR on PC is scary, and I'm not going to build a PC to do it. But I will drop $550 in addition to my $550 console system to do it.
Yeah.
No, Sony, their sales strategy is just to market to their whales. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 5 doesn't have any big sellers. There's not really anything on there to make you buy the PS5 that isn't on the PS4. The people who have the PS5 are either hardcore people like us or Sony fans. And that's it. And this is just another adding to that. They just want to make a couple $1 million and then move on because they can, and that's what they're going to do. They'd rather invest in this than invest in actual games or whatever. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one guy at Sony that really likes VR won again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they probably also made this in mind with the blockchain Web3 VR. They probably had that in mind, which is what a lot of places did. But now that that's crashed and the whole market's gone almost, it's like
There, at some point internally at Sony, I'm sure there was a VR Home 2 kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
To really push with you actually own your home apartment and
Well, I mean, there was that rumor
that would be a seller for this. That would actually kind of be enticing because I don't want to try the Quest metaverse. I would rather do a PlayStation metaverse with.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that would probably agree with that. I mean, I would rather do. Something.
Well, there was that rumor or that patent someone found as like NFT like achievements or whatever. Like you could like mint some like image with your achievement. Like they had that in the works. So it's like, but everyone else at the time of NFTs being at the height were working on something. Yeah. So it kind of it's like whatever. But yeah, I don't know. This is I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to stop talking about PSVR.
We need to stop talking. Forget it. We can actually talk about something else that I want to talk about, which actually felt was great news, and this came to my attention in the Discord, and I think all of us are really excited for it, and that is that Gears of War. Netflix has announced a Gears of War. They've partnered with the Coalition, the new developers of Gears of War, to adapt Gears of War video game saga into a live-action feature film. You're gonna have Batista in this, right? That's basically
Batista and the New Day.
Get Batista and the New Day, and then followed by an adult animated series with potential for more stories to follow. Yeah, there's obviously no date, nothing on this sucker, but this will be an interesting quick weekend watch on Netflix, which is totally fine because there are a lot of those popcorn-ish style movies on Netflix. So whatever.
Like, will this be the one that finally cracks the code or something?
No, it will not.
Well, I mean, like, for the Gears formula is really easy to adapt to a movie because they're adapted from movies. Like, they're already a war film. So it's like
a Gears movie really is going to have to lean into the aesthetic. And I don't know.
No, there's going to be a scene where they have a chainsaw. They have Marcus chainsaw a locust, and it's going to have CGI blood, and it's going to look really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
The trailer, the trailer is going to feature like a really slowed down like song that we all love from the 80s.
Mad World. It's going to be another version of Mad World.
It's going to be
and then a big
Mad
hole,
World remix.
Yeah, big hole like form, and the locusts will start crawling out, and then it's going to cut to whoever they have playing Marcus Phoenix saying it's like we got to kick some locust butt or something, and then that's the trailer.
I mean, those are the words that I would use for sure.
Yeah,
kick some locust butt. Yeah.
Get John Cena to play Marcus Phoenix. Okay.
Oh, just to piss off Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Bautista would just...
No, get Bautista to play, what's his name? Who's Dom. The Hispanic guy? Dom. Get him to play Dom. Like, whatever. And then the guy with the Carmine, get like Austin, what's his face from WWE. Just have the whole...
I mean, like
people.
Listen, they like I said, they had the New Day are canonically in a Gears 4. So.
Oh yeah, they were in Gears 5, right?
5, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
On the topic of Twitter, I wanted to show what you guys are. I know, you're shaking your head.
I've had enough Twitter.
Mass Effect Happy N7 Day. I'm showing this only because let me turn off the volume here. Only because it's meant to, they're saying, hey, look a little bit close to this video.
This is stupid.
Yeah, you get stupid. There's a little glitch that happens and something pops up down here for the people who watch. There it goes. See my
oh boy, bare bones minimum.
Bare bones minimum.
It was like to make headlines on
4 years ago. 4 years ago, 3 years ago at EA E3 conference, they said we're working on the next Mass Effect, and they did like a wide sweeping camera of people on their computers. They said we're working on it. It's been four years. What's the deal?
Yeah, it can't even show us
the fourth.
Yeah, it can't even show us like a pre-rendered like video or something, like a cutscene from this game or something. It's just like
it's like they're also showing the relays that got destroyed in Mass Effect 3. It's like, okay,
Right.
cool. Like that's clearly the next step in the story. I don't care. Like, show me something else.
Yeah, it's a waste
One,
of time. It's just a cheap headline grab today. Like,
one quick news bite. Obviously Activision made a lot of money with Call of Duty. It is second biggest game launch of all time. Yeah, they did. Second biggest game launch of all time. I think 800 million, and I think it's probably up to like $1 billion at this point. I think they said second next to Gran Turismo 5, I believe it's the
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, sorry, Grand Theft Auto.
But
GTs. What I found more interesting was obviously the rumor was that they're going to take a year off. They're just going to work on Warzone and go from there. No, Activision lies. Activision said, "Hey, cash.
Why only work on Warzone when we could also make $1 billion?
And
we
so
can make $2 billion.
Why not $2 billion?
What another full premium Call of Duty release is planned for 2023.
Yeah, but that one ain't going to be made by Infinity Ward.
Yes. Well, they're saying this is actually going to be the rumor. This is Video Game Chronicles, and obviously a lot of other places are reporting on it. It's actually going to be Schreier, our good friend Jason Schreier, says, I'm going to share that.
Nobody here's blocked by Schreier.
Anybody blocked by Schreier? Raise your hand. I love it. Are you blocked by Kamiya and Schreier?
Yeah.
I am not blocked by Kamiya.
He's a true tweeter.
Yes. You should take over Twitter. Anyway, he says next year's going to be a Modern Warfare 2 premium big ol' expansion by Sledgehammer with lots of content in there. He says maybe that's why they call it a full release, but it's more Modern Warfare 2. And the next actual full game is supposedly Treyarch in 2024. But anyways.
That's actually not a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah, you could re-release the game as a kind of giant expanded version with this extra. I mean,
they'll create that Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, resell it again. Yeah, resell it again at the regular retail price. Yeah.
Yeah. They sure will.
$70.
Yeah.
It'll be like what a lot of companies do, which is like Lost Legacy and all the Uncharted stuff, a bunch of other things. That it's a substantial extra thingy. But hey, more Call of Duty. Go figure. Never would have thought that was going to happen. I think that might be it for the news that I want to cover.
I have a news story I have to talk about. This is pretty important. So Sunday was the League of Legends Worlds finals. Amazing. Okay, so just to get the context out, I'm not a huge League fan. I keep up with League for my girlfriend, who's a huge League fan. On the weekends, she's grinding ranked for 15 hours a day, whatever. Like, she's crazy. I keep up with it for her, and she asked me, "Hey, can you watch finals with me on Saturday?" I said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I go into it not knowing
Worlds
Finals is what it's called, League of Legends. So I go into it completely blind. There's these two teams. One's T1, which is like pretty much the team in Asia. They're the biggest team who have the most wins. They have Faker, who's like the best player ever, considered the best esports player maybe of all time generally. And then you have this random team called DRX. So the context here that I didn't know going into it was DRX in their Korean region were at a negative win rate. They suck. Nobody respected them. They had to fight their way into the World Series and eventually got seeded 4th and then eventually rose up to the top to go into the finals match Worlds, which is, that alone is really impressive. But what is super impressive here is the personal stories that going into it. So you have Faker on T1, who's like the god, right? He has been in the game for a decade. There is a guy on the opposite side named Deft, who has been in the game for a decade as well. They both went in together, went to the same high school. Deft has never made it to finals. He's been wanting to make it to finals to play against Faker for a decade. So that alone, crazy. That's just like a crazy storyline, but it gets even crazier. last year in November, DRX recruited 3 new players. 2 of them are best friends who left another team that were doing pretty bad. They joined DRX. Then they get another guy named Beryl, who is the best support now, considered. He left a Worlds winning team to join DRX because his friend was on that team. So we go into Worlds, these underdogs who, by the way, have never beat T1 ever in any game, ever. T1 undefeated the whole series. They get washed by these underdogs in finals, and it is crazy. People are crying on stream. Announcers are going crazy, like this is the best game I've ever seen, and it's just generally considered one of the best moments in esports history. And I watched it, and it was crazy. But yeah, that is a decade-long spanning story, basically, between 2 people that you kind of only get in movies. So it's really interesting that there's a lot of interviews and a lot of talk back and forth leading up to the game. It's also really fun. Like Faker, his whole team was these new people who this is their first year being pros. TRX, their main core person, who's the mid laner, who's kind of like the core of the team. He was up against Faker. He's new. He's only been playing for 2 years, and he just washes him. And it was just awesome. It was really cool to see. And I think it's important to talk about those human stories in gaming.
I think that's cool. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Playland. Love it. Loving it. So
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I had no clue about it, and my girlfriend kept filling me in on this lore, and I was like, this is crazy. And I just got more and more invested into the games, because before I was playing a game on my phone, and then eventually my phone got sat down. It was 1 a.m. I was just screaming and crying. I was like, this is the best thing, because it's so emotional. And then whenever T1 lost, everyone was crying on stage, and it's just amazing human emotions. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that.
No, I think that, and it needs it. I've been obviously
it's just like
I'm wearing sports stuff. I'm a big Lions fan. We had a win, which is very rare in this town.
Hey, look at you.
And you can get pretty emotional. But I think one thing that esports has been sort of missing so far, and I was actually talking to my friend about this. So the reason the part of the reason F1 has gotten really popular over the last few years is because of Netflix. Netflix had an awesome show. If anybody, and it's put the sport over and it's helped put the sport over. Then you had some really good seasons, obviously the last couple of seasons of the actual F1 season. Esports, I think, needs those human stories as well. It needs people to kind of see these stories, to get into it. And I'm one of the first ones to say it. I was an esport denier for a long time because I thought it's not real sports. It's just competitive gaming. But that shit gets intense. And yeah, do I understand anything that's happening in League of Legends? Hell no. Dota? Hell no. I know Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter because it's very easy. It's like me bashing my head against the wall. It hurts. But I can't figure out anything that's happening with League or Overwatch or anything. But that's okay. I'm just old, and I understand that. But you get those human stories in there. You get people connecting with them, and that opens it up even more. You're going to bring people in to these competitions in the sports that have never watched before, and they're going to learn by watching those, but they're going to kind of get pulled in by what you're talking about. So I think
the league commentary team, their group of people they had, did a really good job of getting the human element across. There's so many people that I follow on Twitter. They're like, I've never watched League before, but I watched Worlds, and it was the most engrossing thing I've ever seen because the commentators were able to fill in these gaps of in 2017, Faker. He was in Worlds and he hasn't been in Worlds for the last 5 years, and now he's back, and they're able to build up all this drama, and it's it's just super, super good.
It's always been a sort of a problem with some of the esports stuff is the commentary, because they don't do a good job at that stuff pretty much
Yeah.
ever. So that's nice to know that at least they they were able to catch in on that. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
League does a good job, and
League
so
does
does Dota.
definitely, yeah. Well, let's move on to games that we've been playing. It's kind of a weird week. There's not a ton. I know JJ's in Embargo City over here.
Yeah,
He's got like 15 games that I've sent over to him. I have a game that I'm playing, which I don't want to talk about it yet because I just haven't gotten far enough. I spoke a little bit about Bayonetta last week, and but I know Zach has been deeper into Bayonetta. So let's start with Zach.
Okay.
Tell me
I'll
about Bayonetta or whatever.
I'll start with Ghost Song first,
okay.
actually. So Ghost Song is a game by a single guy. Took him a decade to make.
God, he should try dating. All right.
I don't know, it's crazy. But yeah, he released it on Game Pass, which is good for him. But this game has been it's one of those things that gets a trailer years ago. You're like, that was cool, and then you hear nothing about it, and you think,
it
okay,
disappears.
It got canceled.
Humble picked it up. That's why it Games Pass, and it was also like included in this month's choice as well. So
yeah. So it disappeared for like 7 years. People just thought it was vaporware. And then, like last year or the beginning of this year, a trailer dropped. It was like, I think it was at Xbox's E3, maybe
something like that. Yeah,
something, and it just blew some people up because they also had that other game that was also the same situation where it's like, the one with the robots and the controller. I forgot what it's called. Receiver, yes,
something. Like
so
that.
yeah, so this game comes out and it's a Metroidvania, but it's not like, I don't know, it's like Metroid, but it's not like Metroid. In the way it plays. So the play style is you have your gun, right? But a cool mechanic is you shoot your gun a lot and your gun gets hot and the fire rate goes down, but it makes your melee attacks do more damage. So you have to use that strategery to like aim and shoot and when to hit and things like that. So it's very good in that aspect, but also on the storytelling aspect is really impressive. Is really kind of just toned back, really mellow, kind of sad feeling going through this military base trying to see what happened to these people, but you're this robot that just wakes up. So it's kind of Dark Soulsy, which is what all these games are like. They're kind of, Dark Soulsy. But yeah, it's a really good Metroid. It leans more into the horror element side. It's not a power fantasy like Super. It's more like, what's the one on the Game Boy? Fusion. It's more like Fusion.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's super, super good. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I've played it enough to know that I would recommend it. So definitely try it out. It's just really melancholy. The main character talks to themselves a lot because they're discovering people that they've known that are dead, and they've been dead for however many years. It's all hand drawn too. It has also, since it's been in development for so long, it has some mechanics from other games that have come out along the time. As I'm assuming he saw, hey, Hollow Knight with these pins, that's cool. Let me take the pin mechanic. Oh, let's take this mechanic from, some other game. Like he there's a lot of inspirations, but it draws enough to where it's original. So definitely check it out. It's on Game Pass.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, it is kind of Elden Ringy. But yeah, so the next game is Bayonetta 3, which
I've heard of this one.
Hey, it's pretty good. I don't know. So Bayonetta 3 is definitely the best one in the series. It's the best because of what came before it. Like, It's good because of Nier. It's good because of Devil May Cry 5. It's kind of because it takes a lot of mechanics from TMC5, which I find really interesting because they're not by the same developers. But they kind of take and give a lot of mechanics. But what is really cool about this one, to me at least, is the story is actually pretty engaging. Bayonetta stories, I think, like 2 is whatever. 1, I think, is really engaging, going into the past and learning about the witches and learning about the alternate dimensions is really compelling. But 3 is, it does that thing that like the third sequel does in a movie trilogy or books, whatever, where it's like super big and bombastic and like, whoa, there's all this stuff going on. But it also does what a good secondary film would do, where it focuses on the character side of it. So a lot of the game is you traveling to these alternate dimensions to fight.
It's a multiverse.
Yeah. So there's the Bayonetta, like A. She's like the main one. She's called Alpha Eve, I think, or Origin Eve, I think is what they call her. She's being killed off in all these different dimensions. So that alone kind of makes it a fun adventure. Like, okay, cool, I get to see all these different versions of myself. Let's go figure this out. But what kind of the soul of the game is Violet, this new character. She shows up. She knows Luca, who's also there. She knows Bayonetta, who's also there. But because she comes from a different dimension or from the future, from the past, whatever, kind of like Trunks, she's kind of trying to chase after Luca and talk to him. That's kind of her goal. But she's the core of the soul of the game. She is really human. She's kind of trying to discover her powers and who she is kind of in life, and taking inspiration from Bayonetta because she's so powerful and strong and confident. And so the core story really is self-identity. It's really interesting the way they're using all these huge set pieces and craziness to kind of like
this is her summoning the Madame Butterfly demon slave kaiju. So she's doing the dance and controlling her, and there's a bunch of different demons that you can summon.
So what's cool about the demons though is you get these. So you go into the alternate dimensions, you get a new demon, and you meet the Bayonetta of that dimension. And they also have a new weapon. So that's kind of how you get the new weapons, get the new kaiju. But what's cool about the weapons in Bayonetta 3 is they introduce traversal mechanics. So one of like this spider, that weapon are these yo-yos. And when you use the yo-yos to like travel around, you turn into a spider and like Spider-Man swing.
I love that video that you posted of those. That was so cool.
Yeah, so those are cool. And then there's also one you get where you turn into a train. There's a train sword. You turn into a train.
One you get is this
flying
thing.
Yeah, he's your boy. He's been in there since Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Yep.
That's your boy, Gamora. So those traversal things are really interesting because you can use them to get to different areas on the maps. The maps are kind of, they work in like hubs. Like you go to this open area, fights, and there's challenge spots, and there's angels where you get halos where you buy like cosmetics and stuff, because the angels from the past 2 games aren't really the focus. There's these homunculus that you're trying to kill. They're this like traversal across all planes of existence, science, whatever. So there's no angels. Those are the new guys. So you fight the angels to get the cosmetics, and you do the challenges to get the things to increase your health or your magic or whatever. So it's really fun. It's really fun in the way it's concise. You go to the map, there's fights. Okay, this challenge, that challenge. Explore the map, find the hidden stuff, go to the next spot, and that's just kind of how all the levels work. So it's a really fun flow. Lots to explore. And it just feels good to play. It feels super good to play. The weapons, I think, so far are really good. There's only one I don't like, which is like the mallet you get, like the second mallet that you get.
There's always one that everybody's not gonna like.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
So you get it from Rodon. He's like, "Hey, Bayonetta, I got you a new weapon." Like, oh, cool. And it's like this mallet, whatever. You basically get another mallet, but it's a motorcycle instead. I'd rather use I'd rather use that. I'd rather ride my motorcycle. That's also a train and kill things. But yeah, but I think the coolest addition, though, besides all of this, is the boss fights at the end of every level are big kaiju, like Toho kaiju, like Godzilla fights.
It's so cool.
And they're like fighting games, like the ending of Death Stranding, where you're fighting Higgs. It's kind of like that, but you're a kaiju, and they all have their different quirks and mechanics because you're a different kaiju for each fight. And yeah, it's just super inspired and like just really interesting stuff, like things I've never seen in a video game before. Like that's the shit I live for. I live for that. Like oh, I've never been a big demon lady blowing bubbles at a monkey flying in the air and I'm poking the bubbles to kill the monkey. Like that's what I did though. And like when a person asks me, "Hey, how's Bayonetta 3? Like what happens in it?" Like that's the stuff I have to talk about. I'd say like, "Hey, I was a big demon riding on 2 boats as jet skis going down a river, being pulled by a spider and doing I just like that's just what happens in this game." Or it's like, "Oh yeah, I was Bayonetta and I went back to the Chinese dynasty and there's a Bayonetta riding a train with chainsaws on it and we were fighting a dragon that came out of a volcano and then the dragon transformed into a monkey." And like that's just kind of how you have all these crazy set pieces. And then in there, you have these like really sweet character moments of like self-discovery and
it's
identity.
Such you were, we were talking about this before. It's such a positive experience when you think about Bayonetta in general. Like I think we had mentioned, somebody was saying, actually, I think you were even saying how it's not meant to be. It's not a glorification of sex. It's a self reassurance of someone's own, let's say in this case, someone's own sexuality. In the case of Bayonetta, it's empowerment, and it really is sort of an empowering thing for this character. And I think it's actually done so well. And I never would have thought that after years ago seeing Bayonetta, a booth babe dressed like Bayonetta at E3, and wondering where we've fallen as a society, to a decade later seeing Bayonetta 3 and thinking, wow, this is actually, I'm gonna get my daughter to play this game because I think it's a really cool experience for a person.
Is it time and place and all that, and there's a the game what the game does is different than putting somebody on display as as a human person.
So there's there's a mode in Bayonetta 3 called Innocent Angel mode where it gets rid of all the nudity and like violence. For her to summon a kaiju, she rips out her own heart.
Naive angel.
Yes. She rips out her own heart to summon a kaiju. In the naive angel mode, it's a tomato she'll rip out, which is really cool. But
she likes tomatoes.
Cool.
So with I just want to say this. So you're talking about Bayo and how she's like just like confidence put on display. The way those scenes are shot are intentionally positioned to like she's doing this for you. Like she just wants that's just her thing.
Yep.
But when you play as Viola, who's this new character, she is not sexualized at all. She's really like goofy and like there's some slapstick humor. She's tumbling around. There's and it's her cutscenes are just completely different because she's a different character and she's also a different version of confidence. Like she is like a crust punk. She's kind of like, F everything, whatever. But she's also naive and trying to find someone to look up to. So her trying to find herself by having someone to look up to and discovering her own strengths throughout the story is like a really self-affirming kind of thing. It's really cool. Like the respect they paid that character and Bayonetta are just things we don't really see in a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Like where's so yeah, her cutscenes are like wacky, like slapstick humor. It's weird. But yeah, it's also like kind of cringe too, but it's like, hey, she's like young. It's kind of it's supposed to be that way. So it's really
awesome.
Thematically interesting game, and I can't wait to finish it. I've been taking my time with it. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. I'm going through every challenge. I'm making sure I beat everything. So yeah, but
awesome.
I'm loving it a lot.
Awesome. Well, let's go to Jay. Well, actually, JJ, do you have a game to talk about?
Marvel Snap. I don't know, man.
Well, hold on. Let me ask
we
Taylor.
talked about
Taylor,
Marvel.
do you
That's the thing. Like, there's nothing.
Let's see. What do I got?
We'll circle
bring
back
up two
to you,
things.
JJ. We'll circle back to here.
One thing is not quite a video game, and so I won't spend too much time on it. But I spent some time. I set up my own open source. Well, I mean, like not that I made it, but using open source software to build my own network storage server.
Nice.
And so setting that kind of stuff up. And this is going to translate over to my next bit because it's where all of my completely legally obtained ROMs from my Mister are going to live.
What people don't know about Taylor is that he has a massive software collection and he's digitized it all
it's
now.
crazy.
Yes.
I mean, like
Totally,
my half of my home is just raw storage, like physical raw storage
I've seen
for
it.
my incredible collection.
It's in his Four Seasons room or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So I was playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really know about. I had a Game Boy Advance, but I never
It's
played.
considered the best game, by the way.
By who?
Everyone, right?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Was it?
Anyway, I do, however, think it's very good. And it's interesting because, and I was chatting with a friend of mine about this. It was a launch game for the Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll get into a bit about what Castlevania was and has become, because I also tried to play through a bunch of the SNES and Genesis Castlevanias too. But the original on Game Boy Advance hardware was kind of like, the game obviously was the same, but visually kind of difficult because of the LCD screen of the Game Boy Advance, especially the launch one. It was super dark, hard to see. The original Game Boy Advance didn't have a backlight, right?
No, the first taco-shaped one was.
Yeah, so
it was notorious. The notoriously bad screen. You needed significant lighting.
It's ridiculous that they made this game, because like I'm playing it now instead on a CRT television, which obviously produces wonderfully good color dynamics, especially with blacks.
I don't want to correct you, but Circle of the Moon was the first.
Was Circle of the Moon the first one? Okay, it makes sense. It actually does make sense because the colors on Harmony of Dissonance look better than Circle of the Moon.
Yeah.
Because I also did play Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon was like, I think it's maybe it is Symphony of the Night did it, but Circle of the Moon leans really heavy into your character has a really strong blue outline. That trails when you dash. And all right, so Harmony of Dissonance is still the one I played more of, so I'll still talk about it. And
it's back when Konami made video games.
So this is, is this Circle of the Moon or is this Harmony of Dissonance?
Harmony of Dissonance.
Oh, I'm sorry, I flipped them up. I'm playing Circle of the Moon. So I was right. I just said the wrong one.
Yeah. It goes Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Saria, the Aria.
Aria of Sorrow.
Aria of Sorrow. The actually best Castlevania game.
Aria of Sorrow. Yeah.
Aria of Stark.
Yeah, that's exactly.
She's
There.
from Multiverses.
Either way, point still stands. Games are really dark, but they look really good on the CRT television. And it's crazy, because it doesn't take up the whole screen, but they do double up, so it's kind of twice as big.
Dang, look at that game.
It's like
And
good.
it's
love
so
this
nutty,
game.
especially because I was literally playing it before we started the podcast, and the colors are so much better on CRT. It just it all looks washed out, and the backgrounds are just
Even,
blurry as shit.
Because they put out those collector's editions.
Yeah, the collection packs on Steam.
Yeah, and it's just. Yeah, it is not the same as playing it lo-fi. It's definitely the way to go.
Here's the thing: it has to be one of two things, right? It has to be on a really small screen, so that everything is nice and squished, or it has to be something that can actually show that the game was made with pixels and sprites.
It was really good playing these games on a Game Boy player on a GameCube, hooked up to a CRT.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that 100%.
And I got this game when it first came out. I think it was, I may have picked this up alongside the Game Boy Advance because I hadn't really played a Castlevania game in a while.
We know you haven't played Symphony of the Night. We know
that's true. I skipped Symphony of the Night.
Oh, there's a secret there. Okay.
Yeah, hit the wall, baby. You always hit them. I also like how the the enemies, they would tell you what the enemy was by hitting the little indicator came up.
Yeah,
the artwork in the background, cool shit.
So there's a fan recolor of this game. I think. Yeah. I don't know what it does, but it probably makes it look more accurate. Like it makes it without the CRT look more accurate to the actual colors you get. I'm assuming.
Yeah, the colors look oddly too vibrant. I mean, it's weird. It's that they're just kind of oddly washed, and they look oversaturated. So they just lose trueness. But anyway,
is this one that has the mechanic where you kill monsters and you get their powers? Is that from this one?
No, that's
the DS ones, I think, right?
No, well, it's Aria of Sorrow is where it started, and then the DS one also just continued because it's a sequel.
Got it.
This one
they did it in Bloodstain, which is the best Castlevania game.
Yeah, right.
This one has a card mechanic where certain enemies will drop cards.
Yes,
and you combine the cards together, and then you activate a specific power based on what card you have
games.
It's good. I don't know. All of the Game Boy ones are good. All the Game Boy Advance ones.
Man.
And it's
so pure. They're so pure.
Yeah, it's so much better than so many, even the pure original Castlevanias.
Well, so that was going to go into. Yeah. So as part of this, I've gone through and I played a bunch of the SNES, and I even touched the original NES Castlevania games.
Was it 4 is the Super Castlevania?
Yeah, Super Castlevania.
Bloodlines is the Genesis one, I think.
And Bloodlines is Genesis.
Yeah.
And technically, and then Rondo of Blood was TurboGrafx.
TurboGrafx, yeah. They put that on the mini system, which was really cool because that's not an easy game.
Oh yeah, I got it.
And actually, Rondo of Blood, if you look at the old ones, is probably the good one.
It is.
But yeah, it's kind of nutty what they managed to get to, because almost all of them are bad. I don't think that the Castlevania 1 through 4 is good. They're not that fun.
Yeah, Rondo, I love Rondo, but the franchise doesn't get good until Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, I mean, but this is my next up is the Mister has the pretty new last 8 months a core for the PlayStation, and see if I can get that up and running. And because it's truth time, I also have never played through Symphony of the Night. I never had a PlayStation.
Yeah, same. I mean, I had one, but by the time I finally got into it, it was it had moved on.
No.
And I'm
that's our homework.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm a good boy, and I don't play games that I don't own.
Yeah.
So it's not in my collection. So
You
I'll
own them
have
if
to
you download
acquire it.
them.
Yeah. Also, I'll have to pick it up, and then load up my legally obtained ROM and onto my share drive.
With the
Have you played Bloodstained at least? That game's good.
Yeah. Bloodstained.
What the new one?
Yeah. Have you played those?
The not Castlevania.
Yeah, the not
Bloodstained.
Castlevania. Hold on, let me see. I'm pretty sure I played Bloodstained.
Bloodstained's so fucking good.
Well, what's the subtitle for Bloodstained?
Curse of the Moon? No, wait, that's the 8-bit one, isn't it? That's the
8-bit one's really good.
That's the one I have. That's the one I've been playing, which is so good.
There's an 8-bit one that's good 8-bit Castlevania, and then they have the
I think that's Circle
3D one. That is, dude, that game is so good. Like, it is crazy how good.
Something memories or something. I can't remember what that. I'm bad. At
Ritual of the Night. What are the other games? Let's see. Ritual of the Night.
I was positive I played Ritual of the Night, but I don't remember what system I played it on.
Yeah, Ritual of the Night. I have 20 hours in that game.
Nice.
The Child of Light character is a now playable character in that game.
Are they really?
Yeah.
As of like 5 years ago or something.
Maybe tonight. I'm wondering. I'm watching a video of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and I'm like, did I not play?
Yeah, I'm
it?
trying to remember which one.
David Hayter's in it.
I'm still kind of baffled that the remake of the Game Boy game has like absolutely non-existent anywhere. Like it came out on WiiWare and that was it.
Yeah,
and then like they never re-released Castlevania Rebirth, which is insane.
But anyway, going back to it, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the Symphony of the Night soundtrack is one of those things that I have it. I have it on vinyl, and it is just like I need to get work done. I'm gonna throw the Symphony of the Night soundtrack on and just get some shit going. It is my go-to. I love that fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna play Symphony of the Night because
Symphony of the Night is like. It is crazy how well that game holds up for one, but two, it's also crazy how much video games have stolen from it. Like every Dark Souls game is in there. Like it's crazy stuff. But it's not like one of those things like you play it and you're like, oh, I've experienced this before. You still haven't. Like there's so much in that game that it's just like special, like hidden moves that you wouldn't know about unless your friend on the at the park told you, hey, if you press this button twice you'll do this. Like, oh fuck, cool. Like it's man, that game is so good.
Yeah, the other thing I have to do is apply some modifications to I have a PS2 that I still have, and I have component cables for it. Get that going on the CRT and set it up so that I can add more things to that storage server, and including maybe some ISOs of PS1 games.
Kingdom Hearts.
Good deal.
Dot hack.
I still have I Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is I own like 4 games for PS2 because I bought it. I bought my PS2 in college, literally, I think, to play Kingdom Hearts 2. And so I bought a used PS2, a used copy of Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I bought Kingdom Hearts 2 when it came out. And then I bought Final Fantasy 12.
Nice. A good one.
They came with a demo disc for Dragon Quest 8. And
that's right.
Did it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yup.
12 did?
Remember.
Yeah.
No. I played the demo for 8 more than I played 12 when I was.
I don't think
everybody's misguided now and then.
I got the steel book of 12, and I don't remember.
I
did too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had the steel book. I'm literally going to my shelf to look at it.
I don't remember that demo coming with it, so I don't think I ever touched the Dragon Quest 8 demo.
I had the same version.
Such a good steel book. It's that's some good art.
It's got some grooves on it. I love games with like the indentations.
I like something that I can rub my finger across. Yeah. It's good.
Oh, do you, JJ?
Oh yeah. You know me.
I forgot. Oh, I almost forgot, Zach. The fourth PS2 game that I own.
That's the one.
yeah.
That's the one PS2 game that I own as well. So
Oh,
actually,
I
no,
own
I own Metal
I
Gear
need to put this in
Solid.
the CRT and see how it looks.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
I bet it looks really
I
good
have
on the CRT.
some real.
Let's go
shit
to
PS2
let's go to
games.
JJ. JJ, you said you haven't been playing much.
Yeah, I
you
mean
could talk
everything that like. I got the Genesis Mini 2 in the mail the other
Okay.
day.
Of course, you couldn't help yourself.
It was never.
It's available. I'm tempted.
Is it still available? It's not.
It's available again. Yeah.
It's got Sega CD games, which is really nice.
That's cool.
So it's got like Night Trap and Night Striker and like
Anything
Final
with
Fight.
the word night in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's got some like weird stuff that's just like not a game, like Space Harrier 2. And there it is.
Open it up.
Like, versus Puyo Puyo. It's a neat little thing, but it's
Cool.
definitely not for everyone. And I got the Ghostbusters PS5 version called Deluxe Edition.
There's that second disc.
Bonus disc.
Nice.
Yeah.
That it came with like a book or
I
something.
think
didn't it?
the demo might actually be on Final Fantasy 12 disc. Like it's like you go.
I think it might be. Yeah.
I know, but
Go on to
I know
the
it's
menu or
there.
something.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Oh, I forgot to fill out my form.
Oh man, now you don't have the extended warranty.
Yeah. How are you ever gonna? What if the game?
How
breaks?
are they gonna send you stuff in the mail?
So
But, yeah.
okay, that book is pretty cool, JJ.
Well, I mean, it's a fake book. It's just
Yeah.
designed to look like a Tobin's spirit guide. It's really neat. As a Ghostbusters lunatic, that was kind of the. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. That's a good fucking game, that Ghostbusters game. But I have no one to bust with, so it's.
I've got to get into it. I got to get into it.
But
this month.
yeah, I mean, everything everything I'm playing is just kind of embargoed, or I'm half in right now.
Hear about a lot of that next week.
Yeah, like I mean, I can say that I'm playing the Atari 50th anniversary collection, hot off the heels of the Atari Mania review
Debacle.
just going up. But so I
That's all
can't
you
wait to
can
talk
say.
about that. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Ooh,
Okay.
wait. So Dragon Quest 8 was the one that came with the demo, and the demo was for Final Fantasy 12.
Okay, that makes
Oh,
I had
makes
it,
more
I had it
sense.
reversed.
that would make more sense why you played Dragon Quest 8 more than Final
yeah. Play Dragon Quest more than 12
Look,
because it's
it
the
was
disc
weird.
I
only
had.
played 12 for like 2
Makes
hours. It was
a lot of
bizarre.
sense.
So
Good
I
job.
can talk about comic books. Do we need to talk about comic books, or we can just move on? It's up to you.
All I have is an unboxing.
Okay. Well,
Which
I
I
mean,
don't even know what's.
Oh, actually, I got one other thing.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I'm snacking.
You're
It's-
snacking.
I just picked up this Camelot Music Edition
Nice.
of Spider-Man #1. The
Wait, which
first
Spider-Man is that?
This is Ben Reilly's first Spider-Man
Got it.
series, where the clone takes over. What's special about this one is that it comes with a cassette tape of
Ooh, all
songs.
right.
It featuring the Ramones cover of, because it's the Saturday morning cartoons, where it's a bunch of punk bands covering Saturday morning cartoon songs. So it's like a mini sampler of those songs on cassette.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, you remember the Batman movie that came out with just recently called
Yeah.
The Batman?
The Batman.
And and the villain in it was the Riddler, played by
I
Paul
remember that
Dano.
guy.
Paul Dano has written a one shot of the Riddler's backstory.
Oh, it's
I-
blurry too, which is even
It's
perfect.
blurry,
for
so
the
you
Yeah,
really
really
can't
cool.
see. I'm gonna turn off the.
It's supposed to be read in tandem with the Batman novelization they released, which is like
Yeah.
the year 1 of the new
Yeah.
Batman.
So yeah, they're doing these weird like villain year 1 books. They've done one before, and this one is.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go see One Piece tomorrow.
Nice.
It's playing.
I told my
locally, but-
girlfriend she needed to catch up to the manga before I bring her to see the movie because I know there's a spoiler in the movie that happens
Read
in the
all
manga.
600.
Hey, she is only 100 chapters behind. Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
What else you got there,
that's
JJ?
just a fun afternoon.
Yeah.
Let's see. You remember Secret Invasion, because there's a new series back.
Yeah.
They've got a new Secret Invasion going on right now.
Another a secret
invasion. A double Secret Invasion. Not great so far, but it's only issue 1. So, but it was Halloween season, so they started a lot of new horror stuff from some studios. And Image Comics, these guys.
They make some good stuff.
They make some good stuff. You heard about this? You see about this? They're really like doubling down on some like good horror these days, and so like first up is Dark Ride, which is it's kind of I love it because it's Disney kind of inspired, obviously, hence the title. It is a horror themed theme park.
You got to call it Ladies of the Night themed theme park.
It is.
Sorry, I'm getting a little buzzed right now.
Anyways, it's a horror themed theme
park. Off of what?
Where like
a pineapple cider?
Whiskey lemonade, Crown Royal whiskey lemonade. It's pretty good. Continue, JJ.
Anyways, yeah, it's basically what if Walt Disney made a theme park based around like horror movies, and it's just like a gory zombie.
Walt Disney's version of horror is probably
but like the twist being that there is like demons going on in it.
Okay.
So far it's like Satan stuff.
Did Image release any new Wolfman stuff, or is it just
No, but Marvel released a new Werewolf by Night. A surprisingly,
that's not what I'm talking about.
I know, but Image did not do it. But that's about as close as you were gonna get. This this is a variant cover of this particular one. It's called Hell to Pay.
Evil Dead. I understand that one.
You understand this one.
I know that guy.
So this one's actually kind of got a
Pizza Papa.
It's Pizza Papa. This one's got kind of a cool premise, because it's basically like it's kind of got a Harry Potter thing going for it in a weird way, but it's a college for magic.
Cool.
Okay.
But in order to pay off your debt, these people have to track down. There are like 666 cursed coins that they're hunting, like using their magic and everything. And it's like you start off with them trying to. It's like, all right, this is the last one. You got to do it. You got to get this last coin, and your debt will be completely paid off. Like, all right, and they're a married couple. And they both kind of catch up to one another, and it's like, all right, I got the coin, and they're like, well, so did I. So there are more coins than they thought going out there, and it's a fun little like magic demon gore fest that is hard to. My favorite so far is this is from Boom Comics, and it's called Damn Them All, and it's like Constantine in a way. She's a demon hunter, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's now super, super easy to just summon a demon. It used to involve really
It's the Bayonetta show.
Yeah, it used to involve really difficult magic to like create a summon. Like it starts with her backstory where like her uncle showed her how to do magic and showed her how to like summon in hopes to scare her away, and it didn't. But now, like something's happened, and all the demons have been sort of released from the other side, been sort of run off, and they're like weaker than ever, but they're easy to summon. And once they're summoned, they're easy to like manipulate. Like you summon one and send it off. So it's a gangster story as well. It's like it starts off with like having to like hunt, like a gangster summons a demon to wipe out everyone in the room, and like it shouldn't be this easy
too.
Yeah,
I like this idea though. It seems
it's a
cool.
really good idea, and
Really
I'm very
pushing
interested to see where it goes. Marvel and DC have been sort of boring as of late. Like the Spider-Man story is dropping off significantly.
Bro, it's been like that for like 3 years now.
Yeah, it was like interesting for a spell, and then the Norman Osborn story is just kind of circling the drain that they've got going on right now. So I'm just kind of getting bored with it. But the Batman stuff, there hasn't been a major story in a very long time for Batman, so it's just kind of like everything's sort of a one shot these days. So that.
And you helped me. I found some bins of comics. I thought, now's a good enough time to start putting these in on boards and figure out what to do with them. And I did some real quick cursory. Yeah, the majority of them are like $2, $3. This stuff from like the early 90s.
Yeah, you had a lot of like early Image and I'm trying to think of what else was in there.
Malibu Comics,
Valiant.
But then every once in a while you'd find one that was like, oh, this one might actually be worth like $50, $60, $70. Tempted. And then I found a couple that were like, this. If I get this graded, it could be worth over a couple $100. So
it's definitely not worth getting it graded at all. Like it's just, especially unless it's something specifically for you, the cost of, because you risk
shipping issues and all.
Well, you make a lot of risks because you're sending something in, and that $100 is dependent on your grading of it.
Yeah.
You're not dependent on oh, this is in fantastic shape, but you're not a grader.
Right. And it's like a 7.1.
Yeah, you're gonna get there and you're gonna get a 7.5, and your $100 is now $60, and you spent $75 getting it going through the whole process and everything. It's like, unless you're doing it for you. Because that's one way of going about it. If you're doing
I'm gonna grade a comic and put on a chain, wear it around my neck when I wrestle in WWE.
It's a Pokemon card. Thank you very much.
There you go.
That's what we should have talked about. Fucking Logan Paul main eventing us.
Nope.
So Taylor, you had a big bin of shit in front of you. What is this?
So
Cheetos next.
Listen, it is, but it's the story. Okay.
Oh.
Which is the fact that my wife and I had to do grocery shopping today, and we went to the gross adult
grocery,
and so we went to the post-Halloween clearance section, and she bought herself
4,000 Reese's peanut butter cups.
No, we already have
pumpkins.
Those. No, she has a weird thing where she actually likes candy corn.
Oh, I love
it. I love candy corn too.
It's disgusting.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Your wife is cool and you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, but irrelevant. Anyway, so they always make the Halloween ones where they're in the shape of pumpkin. So she grabbed one of those. She's very happy. Yeah. It's like they're only $1.50.
Yep.
And then I see that the tub of a bag of bones.
Oh man, yes.
Combo of white cheddar and Flamin' Hot Cheetos has been reduced in price from $7.50 to $2.50. I was like, listen, that tin alone is worth $2.50.
Yeah,
you can do so much with that tin.
That is a perfect. Yeah, that is a perfect office garbage can.
Office garbage can.
That is cool.
Katie was
nice.
Katie was like, if I can keep Halloween decorations in that can, we can get it. And I was like, you can do whatever you want with the can. I'm here for the Cheetos.
I'm here for the Cheetos. Dude,
and they're so good.
And you got them at least for a few more days before they go really bad. That's awesome.
Maybe.
Nice. Hey JJ.
Yeah.
Have you read Southern Bastards? The comic.
Oh yeah. I got the entire run of that. Yeah.
It's really good.
I really love Southern Bastards.
All right. I have an unboxing. Something came from Europe.
Ooh.
So let's start.
Anthrax.
Yeah.
I can't cough any more than I've been coughing over the last 2 months anyway.
Sorry, get yourself back on the list, Zach.
It's COVID-23. You're the first person to get it.
They got
next year's model.
Guess what, guys? I got tomorrow off and also the next month. Can I rip it this way?
It's a fabric sample for some car seats that you're working on.
I remember you saying what this is, but I'm forgetting what it is.
So
I remember.
They said, "Hey, we got this game coming out. We want to send you a physical item related to it." And I'm like, didn't know anything about this game, and why are you coming at us, a small town website? But whatever, send it from Germany. This is pretty hefty, and it's pretty expensive. It's 1.67 kilograms, and I'm gonna guess
That's
there's
at
probably
least
some
3 pounds.
So there's some stuff in there. All right, so let's open this sucker up.
Wow, that's 1.67 times 2.2.
Figured it out. Oh my goodness, check this out. It is the game is Saturnalia. Is that it?
Yes. Hey, I played this game. Hold up.
Saturnalia?
Yes, I forgot about it.
Signalis. It is a Saturnalia mask. It's a mask press kit. Check that out. It's actually kind of badass.
It looks a lot like DC sells these like masks and comics.
The owls, Court of Owls,
Court of Owls,
mask,
and the Joker one where it was his sawed off face and shit.
So, it says on the back, Saturnalia is a third-person multi-character roguelite horror adventure, a game inspired and heavily influenced by the folklore of Sardinia, Italy. Okay,
it's really interesting. I just don't like the roguelike parts.
Okay, all right. Let's rip this out and ruin the value of it.
All future value is being.
It was free on Epic Games Store, up until like Thursday.
Yeah,
that's where I got it.
Yeah, that's where I got it from too. They weren't even like, hey, do you want a code? They're like, hey, you can get the game for free if you wait a couple days. Do you want a mask? I'm like, all right. It's actually a nice box. They put some money into this sucker. It's like
I finally finished
really
the
nice
last of my Ghost Gamer energy powers.
Oh, did you?
It's a sad day.
They did love your video. I might actually. I don't know if I pulled it out as a separate video or not. Maybe I did. Who knows? All
they
right,
should send all of us some.
Some Ghost Gamer.
It was legitimately very good. Like
yes,
the Sour Patch Kids. The Sour Patch Kids one was fucking delicious.
Okay, so nice, hefty. Actually, some really nice cutting done in there. Put that over there for now. Here is the mask. Damn. It is a soft. It says 93, so I'm guessing it's the 93rd mask. They must have made a bunch of these. It's a soft-ish leather mask. Wow.
It's Frank from Donnie Darko.
It kind of has Donnie Darko. I should probably not put this on my face, or else I'm gonna. I just died. Oh, okay. Hold on. There's stuff in here. Here is a picture of the mask.
Frank from Donnie Darko. Yeah.
Donnie Darko. There you go. Here is Saturday. Oh, ready?
Is it a 45? Oh, yeah, it's a 45.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Every once in a while, you'll get stuff like this from the press. That's actually kind of cool. We got one for a.
Yeah, they pressed it.
We got a record like this from PAX East one year for, I forget what the game was for. It was like some biker game, but I'll take it. Cool. I have to find something to play this on. I don't know if I have it.
Brutal Legend, is that
and
the biker
I got
game?
The Art of Saturnalia, so a little book. Hundreds of illustrations. That's kind of cool. I like this kind of stuff. Not pop up. That would have been cool. But hey, check it out. There's some cool. Check that out. There's some cool sketches and stuff in there. I love development sketches of these things. Oh, it's kind of blurry. Sorry, but
and Bayonetta 3, you can unlock those. By the way,
yes, it's true. It's true. And then, oh wait, is this
what the game?
You guys ready? This is the best part. You open it up. It's a DVD case.
Yeah.
There's no DVDs in there. It's the printed code.
That's a really good case. It's like the
is
artwork.
Actually really nice.
It looks like a horror
Criterion.
movie.
Yeah,
it
does. It actually does.
Criterion collection.
Yeah, it looks like a copy of Suspiria or something. Like that's a really well designed.
That's definitely the vibe you get from the game. Is like Argento, like Italian. Yeah.
So they have a code. Oh, cool! There's a code for the game here. Oh, it's funny. It's a code for the game, and here's the gamepad is the PS4.
Nice
gamepad. It's cool. All right, I'm gonna give this sucker. I mean, I have the game, but maybe we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway for this stuff. I'm gonna pour through this. I'll grab some photographs. Oh, it's a certificate. Oh, wait, hold on. at the very bottom of this, everything's kind of falling apart. A certificate of craft production. These masks, based on the design of the creature in Saturnalia, handcrafted by Sardinian master Graziano Viale. Numbered and signed in 250 pieces made of ethically sourced leather, obtained from animals raised for food in a sustainable Italian farm.
Let's say animals.
cool.
And this is pretty cool.
Animals raised for food and ethically sourced leather, kind of.
Hey, I design cars, and that's our excuse all the time. These car seats are made from ethically sourced chickens. No, this is cool. Very cool stuff here.
Car seats are made from chickens.
Car seats are made from chickens. So yeah, thank you to the folks over at
down-filled
Santa Region for sending this over. I'm going to take a look through it, and I'm also going to be probably doing a giveaway. It is the holidays, so that would be kind of cool. Maybe y'all get the soundtrack. That could be a really fun giveaway. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, to me, the guy that collects video game soundtracks on vinyl.
Can you confirm that this game has no map?
Can I confirm that the game has no map?
There's a map of the city town in the town you have to walk up to find it. But you can't like pull it up. You have to like walk to the tourist attraction.
Okay.
I'm here. Okay, I mean, follow this.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Cool.
yeah. I was watching a trailer. I saw it in the
Handcrafted.
clip. Okay.
Yeah.
Very neat.
It's that kind of game. I got you.
It's no longer free, is it? On Epic Games Store?
No, it's not. It's
No.
it's not free
Okay.
any longer.
Hey,
Everything's free if you try hard
Yeah.
enough.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you're watching this video and you haven't downloaded the game off the Epic Games Store, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, you should be downloading everything off the Epic Games Store that's free that comes out, because whether you're going to play it or not, just hit the purchase button and own it.
And it's really
I have
easy
a
to get
good
that stuff
100
onto your
games
Steam
on
Deck.
there.
Yep, it's is it easy to get Epic Games stuff on your Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
For
if you get
Epic
the-
Game stuff, yeah, you can
yeah.
literally install. So there's a few
Like the
options.
heroic launcher.
You can use the
works
heroic
really
launcher.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is a third party launcher that uses the Epic Game Store backend,
I'll work
but is
with you
native.
guys.
You can
Okay.
natively install it on Linux. The other
Nice.
option is that you can actually install the Epic Game Store as an application. You have to do some weird Proton stuff to do that, but it does
Nice.
work. And you launch the games, and it runs it directly on Steam Deck like normal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you guys for the mask and all the cool stuff that's in there. I love these. I love the art books are like the baddest ass stuff that always comes out. So I'll take some photographs of this and I'll post this video of unboxing. That's it. That's all we got. It is 10:43. Maybe we don't know what time is anymore because it's all crazy.
Fall back.
Yeah.
Fall back, spring sideways. Yeah. All we're gonna say is again, tomorrow is Tuesday.
Spring
vote.
sideways.
Vote. Do that. If the world is still standing, we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of the Side Quest. You can find us sidequesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube with our vanity handle, because we got one of those now. Waiting for that vanity handle stuff to happen on Discord, because we're waiting for that verification validation thing to go through. I submitted, so we'll see. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. I think we're SideQuestgram or SideQuestinggram on Instagram. I don't know. I haven't posted on there. I've owned it for like 5 years, but whatever. And that's it. SideQuesting.com. And again, Taylor Bliss at Taylor Bliss. _J. OK Quest. And you can find me at Elon Musk. And we'll see y'all in the next episode of The Side Quest. Bye.